Hey guys, and welcome back here to our Weymouth series. Today we are kicking off our second season of this series, and it will be our first season in the Vanarama National League. We will be kicking it off against Eastleigh, and we are going to be at home. It should be a great game to get this season started off. But before we do jump into that game, we have quite a bit to go over. So let's go ahead and switch over to our transfer history so we can take a look and see all the new players that have joined the club and all the players that have left the club. We will start off with the players that have joined the club, starting off with James Clark. He joins on a free transfer from Chelsea. He is going to be our new right back. He is 18 years old, looks to be a solid fullback, at least on the attacking side. Defensively, not the greatest, so that is going to be a bit of a worry. But going forward, he is going to be a real asset. I'm looking forward to seeing him running down that right-hand side. Then next up, we have Lucas DeFice. He is a defensive midfielder that we picked up on a free transfer from Southampton. He is 18 years old and is Belgian, and he also has English nationality as well. But he is going to be very good for us. He has great attributes for our defensive midfield role. And so with that, he's going to be our defensive midfield, and that's going to see Matt Carter move up into the box-to-box midfielder role. But more on that later. Then we have Jamie Bradley Green, who last played for Bromley, and we got him on a free transfer. He is a 20-year-old center back and is one of our new starters back there since we lost our two loanee center backs from last season. He has some decent abilities and the correct spots, and I think he's going to be a real asset on our set pieces this next season. Then next up, we have Jake Flanagan, a 24-year-old central midfielder who last played for Havant and Waterlooville last year. And he's one of those players that is just average all the way around. He has pretty much all blue attributes everywhere. So he's not going to be some flashy, technically gifted player or really good at one thing. He's just going to be solid all around. And so that's going to make a very good backup player for us. Then we have Callum Ward, who we signed on a free transfer after Bournemouth did not pick up his contract. Of course, you know him from last season when we had him on loan. So very happy that we were able to pick up Callum and looking forward to seeing him in between the sticks this season. Then probably one of my favorite signings this offseason, this is Cameron Archer, who was released from Aston Villa, 19 years old, and you can already see why I'm happy about him. He has 16 acceleration and 14 pace, which is absolutely phenomenal for this level. And looking forward to seeing him making runs behind the defense and banging in the goals for us this season to fill in the role of Brett Williams. And then we have Dylan Duncan up next, who is going to be our Mazzella role in the midfield. He was released from QPR. He did make one appearance for them last season, and he is just 21 years old. So another young player that joins our ranks, but he looks to be pretty good and has looked solid in the pre-season. And then we have Stephen Duke McKenna up next, who is going to be our left side inside forward. He was also released from QPR, and I am very happy about this pickup. He is just 19 years old and is a Guyanese international, already has made 11 appearances for them, and he looks to be very good for this level. I was looking to renew Josh McCall's contract. He was demanding way too much money for his wages, And so we picked up a younger, just as good counterpart. And then on the other side, we have Deshane Dowling, who was also released from QPR. So we got a trio from QPR in this offseason. But he is going to be our right-sided inside forward. Very happy about this is that he is either-footed. So depending on the need, we can play him on either side. Plus, he can fill in at striker if we are desperate for that. But another player that I am happy about. And look at his player traits. He has tries, tricks, fantastic, and also likes to beat his man repeatedly. So hopefully we can see his flair shining through this season for us. And then last but not least, we have Nathan Carlisle on loan from, you guessed it, QPR. He is going to be playing at center back for us this season. 19-year-old Irishman. Looks to be a very solid young center back. Alright, so that is the players that have joined the club, and we do have a lot of players that have left. We're going to have to switch views here in just a moment for that. But James Boot has been snatched up by Ebbsfleet on a free transfer. He was on a non-contract with us, so Ebbsfleet was able to snatch him up without having to pay any compensation. But the truth is, we were probably going to be upgrading him anyways, so not the end of the world there. But if we go to release players, you can see there are a load of players that have left the club. Starting off with two players that have retired. Yemi Adubade has retired. He was our backup striker last season. And if we look at his career stats, he made 18 appearances, got 8 goals, 1 assist, 3 player of the matches for us last season. So good luck to Yemi as he is now looking to get in a scouting role for a club in the future. The other player that has retired was a backup center back, Stefan Zubar. I'm not sure why the history doesn't show that he played last season in that view, but if we switch over to his career stats, you can see last season he did make 25 appearances, he got 1 assist. He is looking to pick up a coaching role, and to be fair, he has some pretty solid attributes for that, so I'm sure he will get picked up by a lower league team in a coaching role soon. Then Ashley Wells, another player that we should go over, is currently a free agent looking for a club. He made 17 appearances for us last season. He got 4 assists. He would have been our right back for the majority of the season, but he then picked up that broken ankle, and then we were able to find Harry Woodward, who was a fantastic pickup for us. So hopefully Ashley does get picked up by a team, as I think he would still be good for a non-league team. Andy Robinson was also released on a free transfer. He just was demanding too much money. He wanted over $50,000, as you can see, and that I felt was just too much for a player of his ability, but York didn't think so and picked him up. But Andy was a good player for us last season. 41 league appearances, 6 goals, and 1 assist. So good luck for you at York in the National League North this season, Andy. Next up, Josh McCowd. Again, wanted way too much money for what I felt his ability was at 30 years old. I wasn't about to pay $70,000 for just too much money for what we have right now. But he has been picked up by Wrexham, and I'm sure will be solid for them. Last season, he had 28 appearances, 6 goals, 1 assist. Again, with that, not worth $70,000 per year for me. But he is in the National League, so we will see him 2 times this season. Then on the other end, Donald McDermott was released again. He wanted too much money from us, but apparently joins Bromley on a non-contract, so I'm a little confused about that. But he also wasn't a big fan of mine because he was terrible in training, and I called him out on it constantly, and he got really butthurt about that. So we parted ways at the end of the season, but he was a very solid player for us last season. 40 appearances, 13 goals, 8 assists. So I'm sure he'll do good for Bromley as well, who are in the National League, so I look forward to meeting him this season. Moving on, the next player released was Abdullah Baghi, who has been picked up by Kingstonian. He had a lot of games last season, but was primarily a backup, but got a lot of starts in place of Josh McCown when he was out injured. Just didn't feel like re-signing him. Just felt like I could get better options in than him this season. But last season he had 36 appearances and got 4 goals, average rating 6.55. So like I said, felt like I could get better players in his place. But good luck to him and Kingstonian in the future here. And then 2 other players to go over. We know all about Brett Williams. Last season, he was incredible. 33 appearances, 18 goals, 6 assists, 5 player of the matches, average rating of 7.29 in the league. And he was fantastic in the cup matches as well. 32 years old, he was just winning a little too much money, so I did not renew his contract. And then the last player was Josh Wakefield, who has been picked up by Dorking Wanderers. He had 35 appearances, getting 3 goals last season for us, and he joins Dorking in National League South. But that is all we have to go over for our transfer news. We'll just quickly look at our preseason. We started off with a 3-1 defeat against League 2 side Yeovil Town. Then we faced off against Premier League side Bournemouth, and it was a 2-5 defeat against them. Then we got an easier opponent, Portland United, and it was a 6-0 victory over them, before we took on Premier League side Southampton and lost out to them 1-4. Then we took on Plymouth, who are in League 1 now. Yes. And it was a 3-1 victory over them. And of course, if you don't remember, we played against them last season in the FA Cup, and they thoroughly beat us 5-2 in that game. So a nice little revenge game in preseason there. Then Tranmere Town are another League 1 side. It was a 2-1 victory over them, before we ended off the preseason with a 2-2 draw against League 1 side Bristol Rovers. So that's 3 games to end it off against League 1 opponents, and we didn't lose a single game against them. So hopefully that bodes well for us in this opening game against Eastleigh. But switching over to the season preview, you can see we are projected for relegation, finishing in 22nd place. So obviously the media does not have faith in us, but hopefully with these new signings we have enough to stay up this season. Since we did have a lot of turnover this off season, I know we could face some really tough times at the beginning of the season while the players get used to each other. But most of them have been playing together throughout the preseason, so hopefully they have gelled enough that we are able to pick up points early, as that will be key for us. But switching over here to our team view, there is just one other thing to go over. I did pick up Harry Woodward on loan again, but he starts off in a backup position to James Clark. But there is how we will be lining up. So the players that we had last season, Callum Ward, Harfield, and Matt Carter. Everyone else is brand new. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on early. But let's go ahead and we'll jump into this game here finally. Alright, and we are underway here at the Bob Lucas Stadium, and Ollie Harfield picks up a yellow card within the first 3 minutes of the game. Come on, man, you gotta do better. But we're on the ball here early off of a throw-in, but we lose out to it, and now Eastleigh are looking to counter it. But a good tackle from Carlisle to win the ball back. Come on, boys. Both teams a little sloppy here early on. You can tell it's the first game of the season. But it's a through ball for Cameron Archer. He's through on goal. He gets around the keeper and he fires it in. But he's called for offsides. It's been disallowed. But look, you could see the pace there from Cameron Archer. And that is exactly what we're looking for from him throughout this season. Almost one back from Daling. But it's one back from Clark now. And we're looking to finally get something going here. Cameron Archer, though, he has the ball this time. He's not able to beat the keeper. He was looking for that far post, but well saved from the keeper. And now James Clark, our other fullback, has picked up a yellow. And he's just gone off injured. Not a great debut from him then. So Harry Woodward will come on in his place. Hopefully he has a chance to get some set piece deliveries in. Okay, goal kick from the Terras. Can we get an attack going here? Woodward is running with it on the right-hand side. Beats his man. Can you get your cross in? He plays it over to Daling, who has a shot, and it's just over. How great of a goal would that have been? Great one from Woodward. Daling just not able to get that one on target. And now another yellow card, this time from Carlisle. We need to chill out on the yellow card, guys. But that is halftime. 0-0 here at the Bob Lucas Stadium. Let's go out there, guys, and let's get that goal. Come on, you Terras. Harfield and Bradley Green not looking good out there. Bradley Green is looking apprehensive, which is a terrible mentality to be in, especially if you're a center back. As when you are prone to the mistakes. But this was looking promising, but that was a negative pass. Cameron Archer again threw on goal. This time he wasn't able to fire it in. Only time he's fired it in was when he was offsides. 60 minutes gone. We're going to make a substitution. We're going to bring on David Clark for Bradley Green. If you don't know, David Clark is a regen from our academy. He looks very solid and can play a number of roles. We're going to bring him in at center back. The only issue I have with him is his determination is 2 and his personality is unambitious. Hopefully we can get that changed with some mentoring groups. Because if he doesn't, he won't improve very much. But he's coming on for his debut here. And then we're going to hold on to our last substitution for till now. We're going to use our last substitution now. We're going to bring on Jake Flanagan for Matt Carter, who has not had a good game at all. So Jake Flanagan comes on for his debut. And we only got 10 minutes left of regular time. And they have a free kick. This is not in a good position for us. And that was not far wide from the Eastleigh player. Can we snatch a late winner? It is not looking like it. And it's going to end 0-0 here, which at the end of the day is not bad. We started off the season with a point. So I'm happy with that performance. There are a few players out there that I'm a little concerned about. And their first appearances for the club. Hopefully they are able to improve that in the next coming games. But that is where this first episode is going to come to an end. We sit in 15th place. So guys, if you have enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here. Until next time, it's been your Boyd 147.